As we reach the halfway point, Cameron, Thomas is talking a lot about getting a long brake pedal and the brake fluid really heating up, because brakes do take a bit of a pounding around this track with so many big stops. So I just wonder if he's trying to play it cool at the moment.
Yeah, look, getting in some cool air not only helps the engines, being a turbo engine, but also brake temperature. So we're seeing around about 1,000 brake pressure, 1,000 pounds of brake pressure at the end of the back straight. Doesn't get much of a cool off before you give them another hit down at turn 4 and then turn 6. So yeah, we've seen certainly higher brake temperatures than we had at Townsville, which is surprising with the street circuit. On board now with Lewis Leeds. He's got the toe. Is he going to try and have a look? Oh, we've got Will Brown on the outside.
Oh, Brown's off.
He's going to get him.
He sneaks up the inside at turn 2 and makes that move stick. Good racing. And they'll be side by side down the back straight now. Rowe also wants to jump up. Gretsch will go with him with a huge double toe. And Rowe covers. They're going to go 3 wide down towards turn 3. Good stuff. Who's going to be brave enough under brakes? It'll be Gretsch, but he locks the rears and slides out. Rowe wins that battle. Brown relegated 3 spots in 2 corners. Good racing, though.
Well, you actually saw him. He looked in the mirror and went, oh, there's another car. Went immediately to the right. And Carl Reindler, our driver coach, has said he's okay with 1 movement across the road, providing a car doesn't have overlap, but not a second. So had to be a little bit careful there. He started moving slightly, but Tom Gretsch got a really good exit out of turn 2 rather, but then just outbraked himself slightly. So great racing. They gave each other room.
Oh, on the defensive there a little bit is Rowe. Gretsch.
He's looking aggressive, isn't he, Tom Gretsch?
It's good. 0 points from the opening round, and he was keen to improve. Here's this battle once again. The 99 is Will Brown from Toowoomba. He ran a little bit wide, and just watch everyone jump on him here. There's the mistake. Leeds says thank you. And there were more guys queuing up behind him.
Possibly should have just turned in. He wasn't sure how far up, I think Lewis Leeds was up the inside. So he left enough room not to chop his nose off, but he left himself out on the marble. So I'm pretty sure that Lewis Leeds was rolling off the throttle. He was going to slot in behind, but he just wasn't quite. He just hung in there enough to upset the rhythm of Will Brown. And unfortunately for Will, he's lost 2 spots out of that. In fact, 3 spots, I would say. No, just 2 spots. So we've got Drew Ridge.
Yeah, this is Jordan Love on a charge. Something's happened here.
No, it is. Will Brown has got a problem. I was going to say car 99 way back now in 11th position.
Yeah, everyone's jumped him. He's going back a long way. He's dropped back to 2nd last now. The leaders will tick off another lap, and unfortunately for the 99, he has an issue. That's just a tear off, which is like a clear layer of visor that you can use to whip off to get better vision. Meanwhile, these guys are still going at it. Leeds has jumped Vernon. So he's managed to get around Jimmy Vernon here and move up to 4th. So we've got Dream Motorsport guys 2nd and 4th. We've got a BRM car in 1st and 3rd. Vernon's the first of the AGI Sport cars in 5th.
So great drive by Lewis Leeds. He was just nice and clean and conservative off the start for the first 3 laps, but he's been on the attack. So certainly he's got one of the quickest cars out there in the back end of this race. Lloyd with the fastest lap at the moment, and of course the official F4 lap record with a 1:12.60.
Uh-oh. Now he was trying to complete the race to get some points here, I imagine.
Sounds like he's got a gear selection issue there.
And he's stuck over on the right-hand side of the racetrack between turns 1 and 2. Not ideal. There's 4 laps to go here, and there'll be some decisions to be made as to what they do with that car and what they do with this scenario.
Support from the CAMS Foundation there, and of course Cars Galore in Toowoomba. So that's a real shame. He won our first race in Australia at Townsville. Great young driver, Will Brown. We're going to see more of him in the future, no doubt, but a DNF in this one. So you think our race director, Laurie Schmidt, will be happy with the position of that. They'll cover that with yellow flags, I'd imagine, for just 3 laps to run.
Meanwhile, the leaders half a second apart from each other. Lloyd, who led from the start, and Randall, who's been right with him, just can't quite seem to get close enough to make a move under brakes at any point of the track. Or he's maybe just trying to maintain the brake pedal until the end where he can have a bit of a crack.
Harry Hayek has done a really nice job this weekend. He's been a young driver that slid under the radar really through testing, had a solid hit out in the top 4 at Townsville and has held down 3rd position for this race. So looking good.
I think he needs a bit of work on his tear-offs.
He does, and he might want to run a little quicker because they're coming around the last corner now, Will Brown. Part of the Cams Academy, so hopefully you can do a bit of a beep test on the way to the concrete wall there.
They're a fit mob, these young kids. I've been very impressed with the drive from Jordan Love to try and resurrect what would have been a bad result. Now he's going to pour the pressure on Zane Goddard. Remember, he went flying off the racetrack in the first lap. No safety car or anything like that to catch the pack. He's done it on his own. And is doing a really good job racing with these guys at the kind of the back of the mid part of this field.
And only 2/10, Chad, off the fastest lap of the race. So really got some good pace going. Got a yellow there on the exit of turn 1.
Well, it'll probably be for Will's car that's still stranded.
It looked like it was maybe past Will's car, but probably just in line with Will Brown's car stranded there. 2 laps to go.
So Rowe will have the pole position for tomorrow's race at the moment. Love's still picking them off. He goes past Goddard in the PWR BRM car. So he's passed a few. He'll be disappointed with himself because he's probably had the 4th or maybe even 5th quickest car in the race, but unfortunately made that lap 1 error and has paid for it since, but he'll have 2 more races to make amends for it. Laps counting down. The leaders with just 2, well, we're going to call this the final lap, so this will be a finish on the end of this one. Not long left for these guys. Has Randall got anything? He's fallen back now to be 8/10 back, so if anything, Lloyd's just tightening his grip on that race lead. He can get out another car length, slowly breaking the will of Thomas Randall, and will win 3 straight races if he can finish this lap off.
Nice job, Jordan Lloyd. Got a great start. Unfortunately, Thomas Randall, not such a good start, but he'll start from pole for the 2nd race tomorrow, race 3 of the weekend, given his 2nd qualifying time, but will be very interesting from 5th on the grid. Jordan Lloyd will start 6th, so we reverse the top 6 of the field for tomorrow morning's event. But nicely driven by Jordan Lloyd, just within a couple of hundreds every lap. A 12.60 versus Thomas Randall 12.61. Fastest laps of the race, so nothing between these two.
Final corner. And we're going to continue the trend of Toowoomba drivers winning. He's going to get the checkered flag, and Queensland Raceway is all about this man, Jordan Lloyd. 3 race wins on the trot for him. He wins the first race of this round, and he will have to start out of P6, which will make an exciting race for tomorrow. Randall pushed him all the way, but unfortunately, he gave him the start of the race, and that was pretty much it. These guys will fight all the way to the flag. A couple of BRM teammates. There'll be no change in position between Love, Maiolo, and Goddard. Ridge, unusually off the pace in that race. And great stuff at the front, getting the job done from the front row. Jordan Lloyd, winner by just 0.8 of a second, and that is how those results look in the end. Gee, they gapped Harry Hayek, but Hayek was just minding his own business, driving his own race back there.
Yeah, actually, nice job. Stayed out of trouble. A couple of seconds ahead of Lewis Lee, Jimmy Vernon, Nick Rowe, Tom Gretsch, Jordan Love. Then we go down to Frankie Maiolo, Zane Goddard, Drew Ridge, Jack Sipp, and unfortunately, Will Brown, the only non-finisher.